Welcome to Projects for All. My name is Mike, and this is Milwaukee's drill driver installation tool. This has crazy good reviews online. People love this thing, so I figured we gotta check it out. So let me pull you back in here. We'll have a look. We'll see what it does. We'll see how it functions, and then we'll go in the house and we'll try and find some practical applications for it just around the house. And we'll see how good it really is. So we got a few things to talk about here. This thing is incredibly light. It's 7 inches by 5.1 inches by 1.8 inches wide, which is crazy small, and it's crazy light. 2 fingers. It does not feel like the 2 pounds it says it weighs. It really doesn't. It feels lighter than that. Your direction control is on the top, which is kind of weird because we're all used to the cross bolt switch that goes through. But on this one, you press that to reverse, forward, reverse, and it lights up. If you hold this button for 2 seconds, the little lock will light up, and that's your safety. So if you have kids at home or an orange cat you don't trust, you can lock that sucker down. I don't know why you wouldn't just pull the battery out of it, but it has the speed 1 and 2. 400 RPMs, 1600 RPMs. It has an excellent switch. It has a clutch, just like any drill. Drill 1 through 16. £300 It makes this thing pretty strong. So those are all the controls. It's got an LED light behind the little cover, which is nice. The front of it has your belt clip, which I always appreciate, and it has bit holders, magnetic bit holders, which is helpful. It is designed for these 2 amp hour batteries, because it'll stand up on the 2 amp hour. If you put a 4 amp hour battery in it, it'll stand up. Once you put a chuck on it, no more standing up. So it'll work with these batteries, of course, and it'll stand up if there's nothing attached to it, but I think it was more designed for the 2 amp hours, because really the whole point of this thing is to keep it small and lightweight, so you can hold it up over your head or with your arm outstretched all day long. Having the overmolding run all the way up the back is smart, because you can grab it with a couple fingers and press that direction button. Because you don't have it here. I guess I would have liked if they'd put it this type of button on the side here so I could hit it with my thumb, but really once you get used to it, it's no big deal. The coolest thing about this, just like the firearms industry, they try and get the grip higher and higher. So using like this puts you directly behind what you're pushing on. It gives you a lot of leverage, and that works really well. I love this drill. I've used it a ton, but it really does affect the amount of leverage you have having this low mounted grip. And this is a better design. So let's talk about the attachments. You get 4 of them. You get a drill chuck, 3/8 drill chuck, very similar to this one, all metal. You get a 90 degree. You get an offset, which at a glance I guess doesn't look like much of an offset, but this will get you that close to the wall, which is what you need. And you have a driver. Locking, just like an impact driver, but this is not an impact. So that would be, I would say, its only real disadvantage. No impact. It's like putting a Phillips bit in a drill, more or less. every one of these hex attachments has a magnet. So if you want to do that, keep it real short, you can do just this if you want. You put a bit holder in it. I guess I chewed up that bit holder a little bit. So you get a magnet and a magnet. Ain't coming out of there. The way these connect is this quick connect collar. Each of them has a collar. There's 3 ball bearings inside there. So you got the drive part that interacts on the inside of this, and then you have the groove here the ball bearings fit into. So you just line up the drive part, pull this back, and drop it on, and now it's on there. It ain't going nowhere. It has these little blocks, splines maybe we could call them. Each one of these can be put in 16 different positions. So you can turn this 16 positions, which equates to 22.5 degrees. So you can change this by 22.5 degrees and lock it down in any position you need it. I can't imagine you would need more than 16 positions to get into a tight space, because you'd always move the tool. And just like all these, there's a magnet in there. So if you wanted just to straight up put a bit right in there, you can do that. You can put the offset on the 90. It all attaches the same way. Put a bit right in there. Drill bit. Magnet. Put your chuck on there. Crazy versatile. Put your driver head on there. So now that's locked in there. Can't come out. Can't lose your bit. Pull this up, release. This has the newer generation. The old ones used to have to pull this up to get a bit in it. My M18 old Impact is that way. But this one, they just push in and lock. So you don't have to fiddle with this collar to get a bit in it, just to get it out, which is nice. What a crazy, useful little tool this is. You literally just use it as a drill. You have a driver. The cool thing is you can leave a bit. You leave a bit in the driver. And change them that fast. Put this in your pocket. Throw this one on there. Because usually when I'm working around the house, I carry around both of these. A bit in each of them. You got a drill. This is less to carry around. Although it isn't an Impact, so there is that. Let's go check it out. Let's start out here in the yard. Say you wanted to get a screw down in here. There's no real way you're going to get a drill in here. I mean, you could, maybe. For sure you're going in on an angle. Then you got to screw it down on an angle. And you risk stripping out that screw head. So rather than forcing our way into the corner, crooked on an angle, we got just a 90 degree. It's got a magnetic bit holder. Crazy power. Screws in. No messing around. What about pocket hole screws? Tucked up tight in here. You're not going to get a straight shot with a drill. You might get pretty close with a really long bit, but what if instead we use the 90 degree with the offset to get us way back up in the corner there? And we could just hold it like this. That'll jam us right up in that corner there where we need to be. About tightening up this screw on the bottom of this chair. I can do it with this, and normally I would, but I'll be coming in at quite an angle, and once it gets tight, for sure I'm going to end up stripping out the head of that screw. With our 90 and our offset, technically I could screw in a screw that's even lower and closer. No strip screw, no marred surface from a drill chuck that I'm pressing against it. You can press this right against any surface without worrying about marring. Up here in the stairwell of my house, this banister that was not installed by me, you can see this lazy nonsense right here. They came in at this angle instead of straight on. That's the angle they came in. This tool can get up under there, can get close. You could have put that screw in straight as an arrow with this 90 degree or the offset. Either or would have fit in here. But nope. Now I guess the stud, maybe they missed the stud and they had to turn the screw to get the stud. If that's the case, you know, I wish they hadn't left it like that, but there you go. So I flipped the coffee table in my front room over because it's another good example. If you were doing a woodworking project or needed to take something apart, so that was just a few examples walking around the house for 20 minutes that I found. But really, the sky's the limit when you think about the things you could use this for and, you know, how useful this would be. You get you out of jams, make things look more professional, no strip screws, going in on an angle, all that nonsense. You could eliminate 95% probably of that using this tool. I would be hard pressed to find a type of person from the homeowner to the professional and everyone in between that couldn't benefit by owning one of these, because tight spaces are the bane of everyone's existence. It's why we strip out screws. It's why we put screws in crooked and, you know, say to ourselves, it's good enough. Right now it's about 180 bucks. This one isn't mine, but I will tell you that I'll be buying one of these for myself soon enough because I totally see the value here. I've had bad luck in the past with 90 degree extensions and things like this. I'm looking at you, RotoZip. I bought like 3 of those 90 degrees for a RotoZip. I burned them all out. Something like this, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've come to trust Milwaukee as a brand. I have tons of their tools. I don't replace Milwaukee tools almost ever. I think 2 failures in 20 years of all the Milwaukee tools I've owned. Can't really beat that. So from a lesser brand, would I trust something like this offset to last a long time and be worth my money, especially at about 180 bucks, which is tool only, which is what this is at now? I don't know. But Milwaukee, I give them a chance. We'll see how it goes. Let us know in the comments. What do you guys use this for? Are you thinking about buying it? I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video. It really helps out the channel. I'll see you in the next video.